This is Calm AF, a podcast for humans who are hard on themselves. A podcast for the overthinkers, people pleasers, perfectionists, and overachievers. I'm Kristen Finch, and I'm going to teach you how to quiet that incessant negative chatter in your head. Because you know what a person with a calm mind can do? Anything they want. Grab your coffee, gorgeous soul, because today's the day you get Calm AF. All right, gorgeous soul, are you ready for part 9? The final part of this Calm AF Life series? I can't believe that we're already to the end. So first, I hope you've had a wonderful, I hope you were in the middle of an amazing holiday season. I hope that it has been lovely. I hope you've been able to rest. I hope you have felt loved and you have taken care of yourself. This is something I just was sitting around with my family on Christmas this year and just overwhelmed with love, like just feeling so loved and loving. And I felt so taken care of, and I love taking care of my family. It just felt very balanced, I will say. A long time ago, I opted out of the hustle and bustle story of the holidays. It just doesn't work for me. I did not like how it felt, how I felt rolling into Christmas, being like, yeah, I haven't for once enjoyed this. Like it felt very panicky. It felt very anxious. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that for me. I'm like, I wouldn't tell someone else they should do that. Why am I doing it? I don't think other people should be breaking their back, trying to make sure everybody else is happy and magical on Christmas. And I'm exhausted and resentful. I would never think someone else should do that. So why am I doing that? And that's really when I opted out. And I was just so grateful to my past self for opting out, and for every year remembering to opt out and pushing myself a little further. Like, what else? How else can I make this the most wonderful season for all of us, not just for my kids, not just for my family, but for all of us. And like I said, I'm just really grateful to my past self for having all of these tools. So here we are in part 9. I have shared throughout the first 8 episodes the entire Calm AF system with you, right? Because you know that we don't create a life that you love. You don't create a Calm AF life by just focusing on one part of your life. You really become Calm AF energy and stay in Calm AF energy when you're tending to your mind, your body, and your bubble. So today we're going to wrap it all up. We're going to say, okay, now that you know all of this, you have all the tools, you know what the tools are. How do you have a plan? You need to have a plan to put all of this into action. If you know what your future self's life looks like, well, then let's set some goals. But we're not going to do it the old way, okay? This is not your old boss's goals. I was going to say your mama's goals, but I'm going to say your old boss. Like, what were those old systems? I can't even remember. Like Dale Carnegie. Oh my gosh, that just popped right into my head. The Dale Carnegie setting. No, we're not going to go back and do it that way. It's not sustainable. It feels like garbage trying to achieve those goals, trying to think that you are coming from this place of unworthiness in order to achieve your goals, to become worthy. We're not doing it like that. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 steps to setting and manifesting your Calm AF future self goals that feels so much more fun than the way you've been doing them. Before I jump into the 5 steps, I can't express this strongly enough. I have finally finished the course. I finally finished all of the videos and putting all of the content in, and I was tweaking it and making it better and moving things around. And I'm just, oh my God, head over heels in love with this program. I'm like, anyone who doesn't have this course, I'm like, I feel bad. I want everyone to have it. So here's what I'll say. If you love this podcast, if you are like a frequent binger, if this is where you come to remind yourself of what you're working on and kind of your tools, you really, really want to get yourself in this program in Calm AF Life. It's an online, do-it-yourself, self-paced course that will teach you everything I teach here on the podcast. Okay, so I think there's like more than 30 lessons on how to be the most powerful energy in every room. how to rewire your thoughts, how to set intentions, how to set boundaries, how to stop shutting down and people pleasing and energy managing, how to declutter your life, how to set energetic boundaries for my empaths. There's science lessons on nervous systems and neuroplasticity. It is so robust, but simple, because I didn't want to put things in there that don't matter, that don't actually move the needle. And everything is available to either watch as a video, to listen to as an audio, or read from the transcript. So whatever kind of learner you are, I have thought of that. Every single lesson has a worksheet. And if that's your thing, if you're a worksheet person, and the entire course has a printable, bindable workbook. Okay. And that is just half of it. Okay. That really is what you're investing in, this course that you can keep forever and ever and ever. The ability to have all of the tools at your fingertips at any time, forever, right? When you have time to really study and when the shit hits the fan and you're just like, oh, how do I set a boundary again? Oh, let me just pull up the boundary module, right? That's just one part of this program, because the other thing that you get is this massive accountability that you can use however much you want, however little you want, in whatever way you want. Okay, so you get the daily love letters that have those reminders for you to set your intentions and align with your future self so you don't keep forgetting. So like 2 weeks from now, you aren't like, oh shoot, I forgot my future self goals. No, you won't forget, because every day I'm sending you this tiny little bite-sized nugget in your inbox that's reminding you, don't forget about your future self. Don't forget what you're doing, right? And then top of that, they're almost weekly, sometimes more than once a week, opportunities to hop on Zoom with me and get your questions answered or get some coaching on whatever you are stuck in, anything at all. And that's not even it. Every month, we're going to realign with our goals. So what I'm going to be teaching you today, how to set these goals, we're going to look at them every single month. We're going to tweak them. We're going to see what's working and build on them. We're going to change things if necessary, but you won't forget about them. You will not get to a year from now and be like, shit, forgot about my goals again. You just won't with this program. You will be 12 months further along. You will be 365 steps further along in becoming your future self. And there's a million different ways to get the help you're looking for. You can submit questions to me if you can't make it to calls, or if you don't want to be coached in front of a group, or you want to stay anonymous. It's there for you. Okay. I also have guest teachers lined up. We have topics like human design, how to change your relationship with your body for real and stop this all or nothing bullshit, neurodiverse relationships, clutter, feng shui, tapping, breathwork, and more. Okay. it has everything. And it's amazing. And truly, I just want everyone. I was like, what are you doing? What are you waiting? Come get in here. It's so amazing. From December 28th, actually it's December 27th through January 1st, there is a New Year's promotional pricing, $500 off the program. It's a big deal. You got to join. The link for everything is in the show notes, and it will explain all of the things. It will give you all the info about the program. You can get those love letters starting tomorrow. Okay, let's get into part 9 of the Calm AF series, setting goals that support your future self and the inspired actions to take to manifest them. Okay, so we're just going to dive into the 5 steps. Step 1 is to start with what's already working. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to think back to what worked for you in this past year, in 2022. What did you move? What did you make progress in? What areas of your life are working? You want to look there. And the reason why we start here is because it matters. What's working matters. We don't need to know the 9 million things your brain finds about your life that you don't like or that don't feel like they're working. Instead, the more valuable information is to ask your brain, what did you like? What is working? What are you proud of? What are the celebrations that you had this past year? Because that information is more helpful. It gives you a place to start from instead of thinking that you are always constantly starting from scratch. I promise you aren't starting from scratch. There are things you are doing right now that if you just paid attention to, you could build on, and you would already be farther along than you think. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is to evaluate where you are now. You are going to look at the different, I call them buckets of your life, and you're going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. So the buckets are physical health, mental health, relationships. I typically sort my relationships into a few different buckets. So I do like marriage and my relationship with my kids and my relationship with my friends, but it will be different for you depending on your relationship circumstances. So relationships, financial health, friendships, work and career, my home, my leisure, hobbies and fun, and then my overall life. Those are the buckets you're going to look at. And you're going to look at each one individually and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, this is simply for information. It's just like we want a number to be able to work with. Okay? We're not doing it to like despair. Like, my romantic relationships are a 3. It's just information so that we know if when we start working on something, if it's working. If we go from a 3 to a 4, that means it's working. If we go from a 3 to a 2, we know we need to tweak something. It's just for information. So those are the buckets. Each bucket you're going to rate from a scale of 1 to 10. You can feel free to add or subtract buckets depending on your life. If there is something that's very important that is not a bucket, add it. If there's something that's on there that doesn't apply to you, take it out. Okay, so you go through and rank each bucket on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being awful, terrible, it's the worst, and 10 being perfect, ideal, everything is perfect and you wouldn't change a thing. So once you have that number, you're going to go through and ask yourself, why did you give it this number? Right? How do you feel about this bucket, this area of your life? So for example, if your physical health is a 6 out of 10 and you ask yourself, why did I rate it a 6 out of 10? Oh, it's a 6 because I don't sleep well anymore. I have insomnia, or I feel sluggish all the time, or I, had that injury and I just haven't gotten back into my walking, or whatever it is. You want to find the reason why the number is what it is. Now, step 3, you're going to move on to deciding how you want to feel. So you're going to ask yourself for each bucket, if this were a 10, how would I feel? Now, notice that I didn't say, if this were a 10, what would I be doing? At this point, we are not making plans for the how. We are just getting super clear on how your future self feels when each bucket is a 10. So if my physical health were a 10, I would feel light, I would feel flowy, or I would feel vibrant, I would feel bouncy. What you want to do is feel into your body. Imagine it from your future self perspective, what it feels like to be in your ideal state for each bucket. And again, we're not looking for what it looks like, right? So this isn't the place where you're being like, well, I'm definitely 30 pounds lighter, or I'm definitely, able to lift 30 pounds more. We are just looking for how this feels, okay? How it feels in your future self body. Step 4, this is a fun part. This is my favorite part. Step 4 is we're going to create alignment banks for all of those feeling states. Like I said, favorite part of the Calm AF manifestation method. So what you're going to do next is go through each of those buckets. You're going to take the feeling state or 2 that you chose from each bucket. So again, if physical health was, vibrant, then you're going to take that feeling state, vibrant, and in your notebook, you're going to write that feeling state on the top of the page. Now, each feeling state is going to get its own page. So vibrant on top of one page, the next page might say light, because maybe you want to feel light in your mind instead of overwhelmed. And maybe in your relationships, you want to feel connected. A 10 would be connected. So on the top of the next page, you write connected. Okay, so each page gets its own feeling state. Okay, and on each page, you're going to start listing all the things that make you feel this feeling in your body, that make you feel aligned with this feeling state. Okay, now you're not connecting this to any specific goal. So at the top of the page, you aren't like, I want to feel light in my body. And now you're just thinking about how you feel light in your body. You're thinking about it in general. How do I feel light in all ways? Okay. So we want to be looking for anything at all that makes you feel this way. So you want to think about the things that you do that make you feel light, if that's the feeling state. Maybe taking a bath makes you feel light. Maybe floating in the ocean makes you feel light. Think about the clothes you wear that make you feel light, the people who make you feel light, the music, the food, the places that you go that make you feel this way, this feeling state. Animals, anything at all. And it's not correlating to a specific bucket, right? It's not just light in your body or just connected in relationships. It's in general, all of the things in your whole life that you can think of that make you feel this way. Okay, so that's step 4. Step 5, you're going to choose 1 or 2 of these feeling states to focus on. Okay, we're still not looking at the plan yet. We're doing feeling states. Now, I highly suggest choosing 1 or 2 that feel the easiest for you to align with, right? So if one of the feeling states that you want to feel is trusting, and you're asking yourself on your alignment bank, well, what are the things that make me feel trusting? And you're having a hard time aligning with that feeling, but then you had this other feeling state of like calm, and you could come up with 20 things that help you feel calm in your body. Start with calm. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get to the other goals. It just means start with the one that feels the easiest to connect to. Okay, so if you've got feeling states of light and connected and present and joyful and vibrant and trusting, some of those feeling states when you're creating your alignment bank will come pouring out of you, and some of them will feel shakier. Start with the things that pour out of you. And here's why it truly doesn't matter where you start, why I suggest you start with the feeling states that you can align with more easily, because our lives aren't actually compartmentalized into buckets, right? If you chose calm for the desired feeling state with your children, for example, you want to feel calmer in your parenting, and you start adding more calm into your whole life based on the alignment bank, not just when you're with your kids, but your whole life. Yes, you will feel more calm with your children, but if you're feeling more calm in your life, do you think this will also impact how you're feeling about your body and your children and your work and your money? Right? If you're focusing on feeling calm in your body, how might it change your rating about your marriage if you're feeling calm more often in your marriage too? Right? It's going to start notching everything up. The great thing about the alignment bank is that it's not just for your goals. So let's say you've got a super awkward boundary that you need to set, or a conversation at work that's going to be difficult. You're feeling anxious, but what you want to feel is ease. That's the intention. You go in with the intention of feeling ease. So you can just head to your alignment bank and look, what can I wear? What can I listen to? What are the things I can do that will add ease to my body so that I can add ease to the situation? That's it. That's it. Those are the goals. Nothing in there is like, and then every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning for 10 minutes. There's none of that. The reason why you're not going to stick to those things for very long. When you're approaching your goals like that, it's coming from, I have to change all of these things about me so I can feel better. What the Calm AF manifestation method is doing is I will feel better, and that will help propel me towards my future self. Less struggling, more flowing. We don't have to work harder to create this life because your future self life doesn't feel harder. So it doesn't make sense to approach it that way. Okay, this is the Calm AF manifestation method. All right, so fun. This will change everything for you. Like I said, if you are in Calm AF Life, we are going to be doing this together on December 29th for the first time, but we're going to be repeating it and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it every month. We're not going to take hours and hours to change new goals. Every month, we're going to be re-looking at them and tweaking and building on what we already have, right? So it's not like every month we have to sit and do this whole process again and again. This is just us aligning, seeing, oh my gosh, look at how much progress I've made in this month. Look at all the things I've learned this month. How can I change this? How can I tweak this, knowing what I know now so that I can keep moving towards my future self? Okay, that's what we're doing in Calm AF Life. The workshop is this Thursday, December 29th. We're going to be going through this process so that you have all of your 2023 goals set. You will pick your focus feeling state to start the year, and I will be able to answer any questions you might have. Again, if you join before January 1st, you will get that $500 off. I would love, join us for the workshop if you can. If you can't make it, obviously we will send you the recording. It's no big deal. Now, if you aren't joining Calm AF Life and you're doing this on your own, here's my advice to you. Don't overthink anything. Okay, I promise in the workshops in Calm AF Life, we are lightening up and having so much fun with this. This is not like serious, hard, horrible, right and wrong and black and white goals we're setting. We're not getting hung up on any of that. We are having fun because that is how we want to feel in our future self. Okay, because the goal of life is to have fun while we're becoming our future self and manifesting the life we want to live. That doesn't happen when we're taking everything so seriously. All right, my friends, I love you so much. I will see you in 2023. Definitely come join the fun in Calm AF Life. The link to join is in the show notes. Happy New Year. I love you so much. I will see you next time. Thanks for listening to Calm AF. If you love this podcast, you will love Calm AF Life. It's basically a live version of this podcast, taking everything we talk about here, and instead of just consuming it, we apply it. So Calm AF isn't something you aspire to be, it becomes who you are. There's a course teaching you the foundational components of the Calm AF Life, including nervous system regulation, feeling your feelings, boundaries, and mindset shifts. Then, since brains love to get new information, but we aren't really wired to change, there's the accountability aspect of the program. Daily, weekly, and monthly reminders to keep showing up for the Calm AF life you're creating. And once you're in, you are in. You get lifetime access to all of it for as long as the program exists. Go to KristenFinch.com/CalmAFLife to join today.